Hello. Well, it's Saturday where I am here. The market is closed. But let's just take a look at a post that I did on Twitter about where the money is left on the chart, right? So um, after I've looked at how ICT traded, um, I wouldn't say that I'm trading according to his method because I'm not in his mentorship. But the idea that he gave to me is that nothing on the chart is random. Everything is well planned, or there's a reason why price turns at a certain point and all that. So basically, these points on the chart, this is where the money is, right? When I say where the money is, I'm just saying that areas that you know there'll be interest by the big players. So let's just take a look on first on the Euro USD on the Thursday on Thursday. So on Thursday, if you look, right, it's very clear to see that there's a few points that are interesting. One definitely, right, this sharp turn here, which happens to be the low. This one is also interesting, right? And actually there's another point that I'll put in that most people do not use. Let me just put this line here, right? So this is what you had on Thursday, but of course now we want to trade on Friday, right? So these are some of the points that from Thursday that carries on into Friday. Of course, we have some that comes from the previous days. You see a point here as well, but this point was already was actually, you see the reaction on Thursday, right? And this one actually came from here, and once you see price cut through in a mess, means this point no longer of particular interest to us. If you see on my chart, I also have other points that I've lined up that hasn't been there's no reaction so far. Then okay, so after Thursday, right, we are not trading, right? This is the Asia session, so you let the Asia session go. In fact, I didn't do much trading yesterday in the Asian session. I was out. You see, I actually had a trade here on Thursday, and wondering how did I get a trade here that went all the way here, and actually that was due to, let me say, did I do it on the 5 minutes? Right, all right, it's actually on the 5 minutes that I took this. So this was actually based on this reaction here, right? So I took this, I put a pending, and then I actually fell asleep, and well, when I woke up, there you go, about 70 pips. So of course I closed it because I even forgot that I was there. But price went up a hell of a lot more, but that's it, right? So next you want to take a look what happened during the trading on Friday itself. So you had these points of interest. This is another point of interest. This will be another point of interest. This is another point of interest. Small point of interest here, right? So let's take a look. This point of interest, you can see here, right? Price came in, gave you 30 to 40 pips, easy, right? This line, and actually this is the one here. We didn't get any the price didn't reach here, right? But price reached this point of interest here, you see. And there's another point that as the trade went on during the day, exactly here, right? And you see the reaction here. So I didn't take this trade, but I actually put my level here just to see whether I actually had a reaction the next day. So when I woke up, I saw, oh great, it actually did have a reaction. I didn't trade it because, well, it's Friday, it's end of the session as well, so I didn't want to leave anything open in case it gapped. Because by this time here, this is like 3, maybe 2 a.m. where I am, and I'll be asleep, so I didn't put a trade here. So this is what I mean by areas where there'll be money on the charts, right? This type of areas, this area, this area, this area, right? This area, right? You see also an order block here, and you actually do, I believe you did get a reaction on this one. Not quite, almost, right? So this is what I mean by where the money is. So you can see on my pound USD. Okay, over here is a bit clearer on the lines that I actually had. I had lines here. You see points of interest here, and other than that, I didn't, this is one here. All right. So when you're trading, you're actually trying to look for some areas that you can find the setup, right? So the setup is, you can use OTE entry or any other ways that you can find entry. But obviously, if you were to look at all these entries there, it always occurs after a sharp price movement. It's not a movement where price just slowly drifts, right? So and for that reason, you want to look at areas where you can anticipate where you'll have a sharp price movement. So the few patterns that you should look at, let me go back again to okay, did I get the right one? Okay, so a few patterns that you should look at again. So let me go here, 15. Okay, oops. So one is when you have, look for a bar, okay, a candle that's large, and then look to the left, and if you see a swing high or a swing low, all right, just draw a line there. So that area, usually you'll get some reaction, but usually after some open space, right? If you get a lot of reactions here, and it's messy, you won't get such a good reaction. So you can see here, you get a good reaction. Another one that you want to see, you see this little arrow that I draw. It's basically an indicator that I do to denote inside bar after a long bar. So when you see this bar complete, you can straight away take a buy or a sell, depending on this. If this is a sell, you take a sell, right? If it's a buy, you take a buy. You can see that you will always, well, not always, likely to get a reaction that's the same length as this bar. So this bar is about 30 pips, and you take a look at this bar after that, right? 30 pips as well. So when you see this, you can actually take a very tight stop. The stop will just be behind this bar, right? So basically, if price goes here, I'll just take it at that, you know, it may come back down, but just take that small little loss, a very tight stop loss you can have here and then here. And then of course, again, as I said about this, you'll see this here, right? Long big bar, a reaction point here, draw a line, you get a reaction, right? Very simple setups that you can see. And of course, the other areas that you have set up is when you have like this. Okay, this is a move up. Okay, the pause, move up, pause, move up. So these areas, okay, so basically you can take this whole area here, because they are just one after the other. Sometimes they are just one of it, then it's nicer. So these areas is again where you'll see good reactions, right? well, in supply and demand, they also use this, but I don't, after going through ICT's video, I don't think it's really supply and demand per se, right? It's just areas that the market makers will continue to accumulate, right? So you can see that they did accumulation here, they did accumulation here, and then after they did the accumulation, they push the price up, then they continue to accumulate. So this is an area that they are interested in, right? And if you see, I have let's see, right, I had this line here. Okay, this blue bar, right, this blue line, this areas, sometimes you will get reaction on that day itself, depending where it is, or the next day. So this area will be where you'll get accumulation on the next day. If you were to see, you can't see here because price on Friday it went straight up, but let's take a look at Wednesday. Okay, where do I draw this line? I actually draw it I draw it here, right? So this line is where accumulation likes to occur, right? You can see accumulate, push down, push up, came back to this line again. Okay, as you can see, I didn't know that there's going to be a reaction here. So why did I choose this? This line is actually on the close of the London session, I guess you call it, right? It's at the 4 p.m. London time closing bar, right? Usually you get either accumulation over that around that price, right? It's just for you to price usually will chop around that area, and then you see after that, right, it went again. Let me take that bar, put it down here. Okay, again you'll see some accumulation here, price goes away from it, comes back to it, and goes off, right? Of course it's not an exact price, this is just again price around this area is it's like the closing price. So they like to come back to that area to do some accumulation. So let's take a look at on this day, right? Okay, you didn't manage to actually have any reaction there, came close, but nothing much. But you see accumulation occurring again on this area. So just some how you say, I always put this line just to see what happens there. Sometimes you can get a good reaction, sometimes you see accumulation. I don't particular trade it, but I like to have it there in case I see something like this, right? I know that because this is a large bar, right, then this will become an area of interest, because you see there's actually accumulation right here. If you go to the lower time frame, right, if you go to the 5 minutes, you'll see some accumulation here. So that's where you find money on the chart. So what will happen on Monday, right? So Monday, of course, areas of interest here, right? Of course, the high, this line here, which is the London close. So this one will no longer be of interest. I may take this as a little bit of an interest still, maybe a minor area of interest. So so far you have at least this low, which happens to be a nice extreme, the high, some accumulation area here. Let's see, I don't see. Okay, so this one is all everything, how should I say, all the area of interest has been used up, right? Nothing here. So what you will do is you wait for more areas of interest that will occur during the day, and you see which one has a good opportunity to perform a trade. So again, the trade is, you try to follow the bias that has been taught by ICT. Following the bias works most of the time, but you can see on this day, although the bias is supposed to be towards to the top, but in the morning session it already went all the way and then decided to retrace. So when it decides to retrace, you can try to take either way you like, but based on my this method that I'm using, usually you'll get some reaction around 10 to 20 to 30 pips. You're not looking at 100 or whatever, right? Although on this day, you actually got one that went 110 at least or more. But this type of areas, right, it will come in quick and it will go off quick. If it comes in and it just dilly-dallies there, then usually that means that area is weak and it will quickly break, right? In fact, I actually I may have taken a trade. Let me see, a small trade. I got a loss here, but I think because price went down. Where did I take one? Okay, here, right? I actually took a small buy from this area, right? And then I just closed it quickly because it was close to the end of the day. So you can see that there'll be some opportunities for you to get small little trades. Let's see what did I do. What did I get wrong here? I think I took a buy on top, right, at this area. So this area just fell, price just fell through. So small stop loss and just take a little loss here. So I get another one here, as you can see. All these are just training demo. Where was that? Okay, here again, area of interest here. Okay, price comes down, it went up a little bit, I take a buy and you get 10 pips or whatever. So it's pretty. Another one here, this is on the euro, on the pound. Let's see, on the pound, did I have something? A small one here. Why did I take it? Okay. So this one I took expecting price to keep going up, right? But when price started, actually I took it here thinking that there will be an OTE to go up, but price chopped around, so I closed. And you can see rightly so, right? As I was saying, when price chops around after you expect a big move, means probably it's not going to be a good trade. So I closed it and got a little bit, and then price came down, and then only went up. So that's fine, right? So this is what I mean. You can actually don't stay in a trade that has a higher probability of being a loss, right? If you see there's going to be a loss, it's better for you to get out faster. So usually when the reaction is strong, it will just go immediately, at least giving you 10 to 15 pips quickly, and that allows you to move your stop. So that's all. Money on the charts take some concentration, but that's what I see. So you can see I have areas here. So that's all. Hope you found that useful.